There was a friend of mine who was just stuck between deciding whether to go on a marriage of some distant relatives, also living at far distance, or not. And like every one of us, she did the comparison. We all do, whether we are to buy something, to choose a career. Before every decision, we do that comparison of comparing pros versus cons, advantages versus disadvantages. Her list of concerns was like that the people I am going to meet over there are not those whom I am familiar and have the relationship. So I will be left alone and I feel strangeness over there. That's why I won't enjoy. On the contrary, in the list of benefits, she had that I will enjoy the travel and I will experience the city which I haven't been before. On my request, she went there. And guess what? Not only she reaped those benefits she had anticipated at that time, but she got something very extra which was completely unthinkable at that time. She developed very long lasting and so friendly relationships with all those cousins that she cannot forget. Next, she enjoyed the marriage event so smoothly, so greatly, and very enjoyably. Third, because she had good skills at designing those many things, and she got a reputation in their family that she is a very good mehndi designer. All those benefits were completely unthinkable at the time when she was just stuck between deciding these two things. And there was a man who was to decide between pursuing his taste for music, his musical career, or just keeping on his job. In the concerns list, he has will I be able to make enough money from music? While in the benefits, he was thinking I will be able to connect with like minded people and I will be doing something that I really wanted to do. But when he pursued music career, first as a part time, then as a full time, he got extra benefits. First, not only he got connected with the like-minded people and enjoyed doing what he was really wanted to do, he got some international tours, and during those tours he met with some amazing people and developed lifelong relationships. He was given a mentorship by some of non-profit music teaching organization, and during that mentorship he got some amazing experience of teaching to some brilliant students. He learned a lot, he expanded his mindset, and he got his wife from those experiences too. Also, there was a person who thought if he got an F in his exams, he will feel really, really awful. But seeing F on the top of his paper, he only felt awful. That really, really got disappeared, and he was just left with awful. Now the question is, why in all those three examples, none of the person was able to anticipate actual thing that is going to happen? Either positive or negative, whatever they anticipated didn't happen. For positives, they got extra, and for negatives, it wasn't that much bad as they had thought. This is because of a psychological term called affective forecasting, and we humans are very bad at it. We cannot predict our future selves and our future emotions because we try to predict them, we try to predict our future selves based upon the present lens or some past memories. We don't know how time can change us and how things can be changed. But why does that important? If we are bad at predicting our future selves and we cannot effectively forecast our future emotions, why does that important? Because this is something that has not only prevented us from achieving greater things but also hold us from our true potentials. This is like something if you are standing on the top of cliff and you are afraid to either jump into the water or not. If you trust on your brain, which is always wired to value more and focus more on the negative, you won't jump. This way, you won't ever be able to experience those deep, beautiful waters and the experience of jumping and feeling the air touching to your face, skin, and there are many things that are unthinkable at right now, which you can experience if you just jumped off that cliff. So, is there any way that can help us not to believe in this faulty effective forecasting of our humans? Well, yes. First of all, not every decision is 100% correct. Whatever you are going to decide, everywhere, all those decisions, all those times, that what ifs, and concerns will prevail. So, if you are not getting 100%, you must be satisfied with 70 to 80%. If it is exciting, if it is where the growth is, if it can give you the good benefits, you must be stick with 60 to 70%. That is okay. Secondly, 99% of the decisions are reversible. If you have taken them and they have proven that much wrong, you can always take back. You have always the option of being back, except having kids or doing the skydiving without the parachute. Thirdly, if you took the leap and jumped off the cliff, you will learn new things, you will expand your mindset, you will challenge yourself and know your limits, and all those growth points and growth things will always be with you. I would like to mention a quote here. I don't like work, no man does, but what I like in the work is the chance to find yourself. So it was all about, if you are stuck between deciding good and bad, concerns versus benefits, just take the leap. Jump off the cliff, because you don't know, you are very bad at forecasting things. You don't know what greater things are waiting for you. Do let me know what are the things that you are afraid to do. You are just stuck between deciding and watching this video. You have promised yourself that you are going to take the leap and deciding it, because you have just learned now that you are very bad at forecasting. If you find it useful, do hit the like button. We will be back in the next video.